grenzen sluiten we niet.
Welcome to the second episode on this series. Today we take a look at the Netherlands. In this video, we will explore different articles, blogs, videos, and more importantly, facts about the European migration crisis.
The annual Gay Pride Festival is an exuberant, high-energy celebration attracting revelers from around the world. Even in the conservative hinterland, most Dutch are proud of this reputation for tolerance. But of late, something very queer has happened here. These minorities have become scared of another minority.
I have friends who are Moroccan, and it's not Moroccans in general. There's always a group within a group, and they spoil it for the rest of the group.
For the first time in their lives, they're fearful walking the streets of Amsterdam. The reason? Moroccan street gangs targeting gays.
A couple of years ago, we were very proud to just walk down the street and everybody was clapping and wanted to make pictures of us. And now we have a little bit more problems on the street.
The country's unease with immigrants, particularly from Muslim countries, is a fairly recent phenomenon. For centuries, the Dutch were seagoing people, traders, pirates, colonists, and migrants who settled the far corners of the globe. But in the 1960s, the government and business groups decided to bring foreigners here to do the kind of low-paid, dirty jobs that Dutch people no longer wanted. And to get the cheapest labour possible, they targeted mainly illiterate peasants from poor villages in Morocco. No one seemed to mind that they were Muslim.
Meine Freunde, wir sollten das Inakzeptable nicht als unabänderlich akzeptieren, ohne zu versuchen, das Blatt zu wenden.
This is a message for everyone who wants to see refuge in the Netherlands. Do not come to the Netherlands. We will not let you in. The refugee crisis has led to a division in our country. Because of this, we cannot guarantee the safety of refugees any longer. So to anyone coming our way, we have one clear message. Do not come to the Netherlands. We will not let you in.
Over salafisme.
Ja.
Geldt dat ook voor u?
In de kern niet. Wel in sommige uitingsvormen. Salaf is voorganger en een salafist is iemand die op de voorganger wil lijken.
Nou ja.
Dus een moslim die we nu voor salafist verslijten, is iemand die heel graag op profeet Mohammed wil lijken.
In die
Dus,
definitie zou u zichzelf ook salafist
ja,
kunnen noemen?
eigenlijk elke moslim is een beetje salafist. Dus
maar dat vinden we meteen eng hoor, als u dat zegt.
Ja, toch is het zo. Ik heb ook wel eens gezegd, ik ben jihadist.
Nou, ik heb begrepen dat de uitspraak niet bindend is. Dat betekent dat de minister van Justitie daar uiteindelijk over zal gaan. Ik moet de eerste VVD-minister van Justitie nog met ruggengraat nog tegenkomen. Die gaat zeggen, we gaan geen hoofddoek doen bij de politie. Dus ik denk dat ze gaat winnen. We gaan verliezen en zij gaat winnen.
Waarom is dat erg?
Waarom is het erg? Omdat ik het heel erg vind dat als ik aangifte zou doen van het een of ander, dat er tegenover mij iemand staat die haar geloofsovertuiging in mijn gezicht duwt. Dat is het eerste. Ten tweede dat die iemand een vrouw is en die zich door haar geloofsovertuiging toont ondergeschikt te maken aan een man. Want ik heb nog nooit een man met een hoofddoek gezien. Het zijn altijd de vrouwen die een hoofddoek moeten dragen binnen de islam.
Toch zegt zij zelf, ik wil dat graag.
Zou ik ook doen als ik gersenspoeld was. Tuurlijk, zou ik ook doen. Ja.
As you can see, the Dutch have also decided it is time to raise their voices against the cultural replacement currently underway. Let's hear some Dutch nationals express their opinion.
Not all are scum, but there is a lot of Moroccan scum in Holland who makes the streets unsafe. Mostly young people.
Is it because of the Islam?
It's not, I hate Muslims, I hate people, I'm not a racist. I only say I hate Islam. Islam is for me a danger.
I cannot change his mind. But I've met so many Muslim people with their story and it really touched me and I really feel like they're just like us.
Maar ik ben ook geen, noemen ze dat weer? Ik ben geen racist, helemaal niet. Ik hoop dat iedereen goed gaat op de wereld. Maar het is te gevaarlijk wat er allemaal naar binnen komt natuurlijk, tot er heel slecht spul tussen zit allemaal. En het is beangstigend wat er allemaal in de wereld gebeurt natuurlijk, en ook in Europa, met dat IS gebeuren. Daar ben wij bang voor. En dat ziet Wilders wel goed, denk ik.
And since we haven't had moral leadership to counter what Geert Wilders is doing, I think that is a very big reason why this hatefulness is just so widespread at the moment.
I think it only helps to meet Muslim people and talk with them. I think that's the only option to change people's minds.
Geert Wilders is a Dutch politician who has been leader of the Party for Freedom since he founded it in 2006. He's the parliamentary leader of his party in the House of Representatives. He has been chased, sued, attacked, and he has been called the Netherlands' Donald Trump.
Excuse me, Mr. Wilders, from Australian television. We've been speaking to your office about doing an interview. So, for many Netherlanders, their new hero is not a dyed blonde Lady Gaga, but a very different blonde bombshell. You've done this before, I guess?
Yeah.
A few thousand times. Meet Geert Wilders, arguably the biggest critic of Islam in Europe.
I would not want to live, or my children, or my grandchildren, to live in a country where the ideology of Islam becomes more dominant every day. Because the more Islam you have in a society, the less freedom you will have. You are not a racist or a fascist or whatever if you say, I'm proud that our country is based on values that are based on Christianity and Judaism and humanism. And we stand for Christians, we stand for homosexuals, we stand for the rights of women, for independent journalists, for whatever.
Geert Wilders' savaging of Islam has made him one of the nation's most popular politicians. He wants to end immigration from Islamic countries, outlaw headscarves, and stop the construction of any new mosques. He's likened Islam to communism and the Quran to Mein Kampf.
I see Islam as more ideology than a religion. It's not to be compared with Christianity or Judaism. It's more compared with other totalitarian ideologies, like communism or fascism.
Even so, do you understand why a law-abiding, patriotic Dutch Muslim feels insulted when you compare the Quran to Mein Kampf?
My aim is not to insult people, make that clear. But Islam says that you should follow the example of Muhammad. And if I say that Muhammad was a warlord, he was a terrorist, maybe terrorist worse than bin Laden ever was at the time. Look at what he did in his time in the past, in his Medina time. This is not the example to follow.
A clear majority of Netherlanders see him as an extremist. But he's successfully tapped into fears that Muslim migrants aren't conforming to Dutch values. In last year's election, his Freedom Party won 15% of the vote, giving it 24 seats and the balance of power in Parliament. Yet just 10 years ago, this country was proud to call itself multicultural.
Unfortunately, almost for 7 years now, I live under 24-hour protection a day, every day a year, whether I'm in Holland or abroad. I lived with my wife in prison cells, not as a prisoner, but to be safe, in safe houses. It's not fun, but on the other hand, I won't be silenced because I only use democratical means, and if I would give in to people who use non-democratic means, who try to silence you by wanting to kill you or threatening to kill you, then it's the end of the democracy. Now, our government, because of our influence, declared the total failure, the failure of the multicultural society.
Geert Wilders' minority vote has made him the kingmaker. Last year, he swung his support behind a coalition of the Liberal Party and Christian Democrats to bring a right-leaning government to power. In return, the government has taken a tough line on immigration, declaring multiculturalism to be dead.
Hij heeft je een paar weken niet gezien.
Prospective migrants must now speak Dutch and show they can work before they can join relatives in the Netherlands. The policy isn't specifically targeted at Muslims. That would be contrary to EU rules. But Geert Wilders insists that is the intention.
Okay.
In the Netherlands, we propose that you should have 120, 130% of the minimum wage. You have to earn it before you can get your spouse over from a certain country, for instance, which has an effect that less people from non-Western countries will come to Holland.
So you're not specifically saying we'll take less people from Muslim countries, but the rules will have that effect?
Exactly. And the effect will be that people from non-Western countries, in reality it will be mostly Islamic countries, will decrease in the next 4 years by a lot, possibly up to 50%.
On July 22nd, Anders Breivik, a so-called Christian fanatic, went on a killing spree in Norway. He shot 69 political activists, mainly teenagers, as they gathered at an island holiday camp. His stated aim was to punish politicians for being soft on the spread of Islam. In a manifesto justifying the slaughter, he mentioned Wilders 30 times. Since the atrocity, Geert Wilders has avoided journalists. This is the first time he's agreed to discuss it.
My heart goes to the people in Norway. Something terrible that happened, and it's terrible that he mentioned me in his manifest. What can I do about it? But it's terrible that he did, and I believe, because he really acted as Islamic radicals would act, not according to the law.
But is there a risk you're stirring up dark emotions?
Now, once again, we are not stirring up any emotions. We are telling the truth about not the people, but the ideology of Islam. We are saying that all cultures are not equal. It might be politically incorrect, but I believe our culture is superior to the Islamic culture of inequality, of intolerance, and of violence. This is not stirring up any nasty emotions. This is telling the truth and the preservation of who we are.
It is now commonly known that refugees in European countries are not happy, even protesting about the new lives they have been provided with. Some want more money, others want more commodities and better living facilities. Keep in mind, all of this is free, paid by the people of the country that received them with arms open. Another common situation is that refugees act violently towards locals, and when the police come, they claim to be the victims. We will see the attitude police have in regards to enforcing the law when it comes to refugees in future videos as well. Here are some videos depicting exactly these situations in the Netherlands.
Problemen geweest met de Marokkaanse gemeenschap in Ede.
Af in de wijk.
Bent u bang?
Ik niet.
Jongeren terroriseren de wijk Veldhuizen in Ede. Daarom heeft de burgemeester een...
Dit is raar.
Waarom gooi je met stenen?
Opstoten! Wegwezen! Ik pak die steen, ik doe me je reet! Opdonder, opstoten, nu! Ik bel de politie. Ik bel de politie.
U bent verbonden met het landelijk telefoonnummer politie.
Ja,
Het is allemaal gaaiers wat er rondloopt. Je hoeft hier de hoek niet om te komen. Oh ja, je hebt het zelf gezien. Of je krijgt iets naar je hoofd geslingerd.
hé, hey, pas op, zuster! Fuck! What the fuck?
Wat hier nu gebeurt, is echt ziek. Echt helemaal ziek. Wat zegt u? Is dat hier de normaalste zaak van de wereld momenteel?
Schijnbaar wel, maar in mijn beleving vind ik het niet normaal in ieder geval. En vooral ook in een land waar je te gast bent.
Meneer de politieagent? Meneer, goeiedag. Meneer? Hallo? Rijdt gewoon weg zonder überhaupt iets te zeggen, doet de deur niet open, niks niet.
Ze rijden gewoon door. Ja, ze rijden gewoon door. Het lijkt wel of ze gewoon bang zijn. Als ze jij op de hoek van de straat een bekeuring kunnen geven, dan staan ze vooraan. Maar als ze de tuig een keer op moeten pakken en van de straat af moeten plukken, dan zie je ze gewoon wegrijden.
Lopen nu!
Kom maar, kom maar. Hey, kom dan, ik lok je uit. Kom dan.
Freek, je hebt een kind bij je. Je hebt een kind bij je. Freek, nu.
En ga slaan, dan heb ik hem op beeld.
Nee,
kom maar.
Freek, we hebben kinderen. Hou op. Hou op, we hebben kinderen.
Hey, kom maar.
Jij gaat nu de auto mee, we hebben kinderen. Ophouden. Nee!
Kom maar, kom dan. Ga me slaan. Ga me slaan. Ga me slaan. Jij hebt mij geslaan, ik heb jouw video, jongen. Je hebt mij geslaan, hè?
Kan je de politie even bellen? Rot ze hebben open mij, joh.
Mafkees.
Het is een natnek.
Je hebt mij geslaan, hè?
Kan je de politie even bellen? Hé, je moet hem weghalen bij mij. Haal hem bij mij weg. Nee, geef het niet. Hier nu. Haal hem bij mij weg. Dat doe ik toch? Politie, kan de politie even bellen?
Ja, ik film jou wel even voor mij.
Vrouw, kan de politie even bellen? Ik word even aangevallen. Nee, hier komen. Alles is op camera gezet.
Ja, dat staat zeker op camera dat jij mij geslaan hebt.
Alles is op camera gezet.
Je hebt mij geslaan, jongen. Hè?
Nu. Alles is op camera gezet.
So this is not a life when you get inside to a room without a TV. Just only with bed. There's no fridge. All what they care about is
no liquor for you.
Yeah, no liquors for
privacy or something. No.
There's no privacy.
And all we get is the promise your life will become better and nothing at all.
And we need to take just 12 euros and have in 1 week.
We're gonna stay outside because we don't want to eat this food. We don't want to stay in this room because we run away from our country because of the situation, and now we live in the jails.
We are eating this same food since 4 months. This butter, this the milk. This is very, very bad.
Maybe we should go back our country, dying there. I think it's fair enough. Thank you.
The man suspected of being behind a knife attack in the Dutch capital on Friday says he was motivated by perceived insults against Islam in the country. Authorities add a clear terrorist motive to the incident has been established.
The man is of the opinion that in the Netherlands, the Prophet Muhammad, the Quran, Islam and Allah have often been insulted. From his statements, it is clear that the man had terrorist motives, which were his reason for coming to the country.
Well, police say that the 19-year-old came from Afghanistan. He claimed asylum in Germany but was rejected. The suspect travelled to Amsterdam and 2 tourists were seriously wounded in his attack at a busy train station. Under interrogation, the suspect also mentioned the name of right-wing lawmaker Geert Wilders.
Muslim terrorists hate our way of life and our freedoms. They answer Islam criticism with violence, like this Jawed S. Almost every week, this kind of gruesome stabbing takes place against innocent people throughout Europe.
Regardless of your perspective, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of your gender or nationality, there is clearly a problem in countries that have received a high influx of asylum seekers and economic migrants. In some areas, life as they knew it will never be the same again, and the local Dutchmen are worried about what their country might turn into.
I will never be silent. You will not be able to stop me. And you are wrong too. Moroccans are not a race, and people who criticize Moroccans are not racist.
Wofür ihr steht, ist extrem wichtig. Nicht nur für Deutschland.
Please join us next time to take a look at another country in this series. Subscribe and share these videos as this content will not be on television.